Hello, I'm Kimberly Acosta. Welcome to this edition of the Native News Update on Thursday, December 31st. Many of the stories you hear here can be found at our website, IndianCountryNews.com, or you can check out IndianCountryTV.com. And here's the news for the day from the Associated Press and other Native news stories. Most people are familiar with the saying, once in a blue moon, which is used to describe something that happens very infrequently. A blue moon occurs when there are 2 full moons in 1 month. This rare occurrence happens only about 7 times in 19 years. But this will be the first time since 1990 that it will coincide with New Year's Eve. The event will not happen again until 2028. Variations on local time around the world make the dates of the blue moon different, even though it occurs at the same moment. The first full moon in December 2009 occurred on December 2nd, and the blue moon occurs on December 31st. According to the Old Farmer's Almanac, the last time a blue moon occurred was June of 2007. The next blue moon will occur during August of 2012. Even more rare than 1 blue moon is 2 blue moons in 1 year. This is thought to happen once every 19 years, almost always during January or March. The last time a double blue moon occurred was in 1999. According to the Old Farmer's Almanac, traditionally all full moons were named by Native American tribes. Crow Creek Sioux Chairman Brandon Sazu has received lots of support for his protest of the IRS auctioning off over 7,000 acres of his tribe's land, including from a small tribe in California trying desperately to hold on to a tiny parcel of land that is their only real estate. The California Valley Miwok tribe sent a letter to Sazu voicing their support for him and his tribe as its leaders prepare to barricade themselves for the second time in the tribe's only real estate, 1.5 acres housing the tribal office in Stockton, California, that is currently in bank foreclosure. Please don't allow what is happening to us today to happen to you. Stay strong and fight for your land, your people, and your future, the letter said. Sazu says an assistant to the BIA Secretary, Larry Echohawk, has told him that the BIA will try to determine in January if the IRS has legal authority to sell the Crow Creek land to settle a $3.1 million in federal back taxes, and the tribe has filed a lawsuit over the same issue. There will be no attempt to transfer the property until the lawsuit is resolved. There's an investigation into about 125 artifacts uncovered on a site of a new $340 million Suncoke energy plant in Middletown, Ohio. A Cincinnati archaeological firm, Gray and Pape, were called in to excavate and analyze 2 areas of the construction site when the historic materials were found on a sloping terrace close to a branch of Dix Creek. The Knoxville, Tennessee company is building the plant to supply coke and electricity to AK Steel's Middletown plant. Principal investigator Christina Kelly has determined that the items may have been used by a people that lived several thousand years ago, possibly as far back as 8000 BC. The North American Indian culture using the artifacts could date to the Archaic period when members of hunting-gathering society had to search for their food. Or the artifacts could have been used by a people who lived during the Woodland period, which lasted as late as 1000 AD in southwest Ohio. Native American tribes tired of waiting for the U.S. government to honor century-old treaties are buying back land where their ancestors lived and putting it in federal trust. Information that the Associated Press obtained from the Federal Bureau of Indian Affairs under the Freedom of Information Act shows that tribes have put more than 840,000 acres in trust from 1998 to 2007. Native Americans say the purchase will help protect their culture by preserving burial grounds in areas where sacred rituals are held. They also provide land for farming, timber, and other efforts to help make the tribe self-sustaining. Several states and local governments are fighting the tribe's efforts because placing land in trust removes it from their tax rolls and burdens communities that must still provide water and other services. Gary Garrison, a BIA spokesman, said, "No one knows how much land the federal government promised Native American tribes in treaties during the late 1700s. The award-winning Cherokee National Youth Choir announced the release of its latest music CD, Learning as We Sing. A project intended to both entertain and teach language skills, the new CD contains a variety of well-known traditional music intended for sing-along, including patriotic American songs, Cherokee cultural songs, and even some Christmas songs. Listeners can sing along with the choir and learn old favorites such as the Star-Spangled Banner, This Land Is Your Land, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, Jingle Bells, and Frosty the Snowman, all in the Cherokee language. The choir is made up of 40 Cherokee youth people from Oklahoma. Its members are middle and high school youth between 6th and 12th grade. The Cherokee National Choir is funded solely by the Cherokee Nation and administered through the Cherokee Nation Leadership Group. For more information on the choir, you can check out youthchoir.cherokee.org. This New Year's Eve, we'll see an historical event coming to your television via the Showtime network. This will be the night of Showtimes for Native American stand-up comedy. Showtime is presenting Going Native, the American Indian Comedy Slam. Going Native will feature comedians Jim Rule, J.R. Redwater, Mark Yaffe, and Von Eaglebear from the Powwow Comedy Jam group, along with veteran stage comedians Larry Omaha and Howie Miller. The comedy showcase will be hosted by comedian Charlie Hill. The comedy concert was taped in early 2009 and is set to be the first time a comedy slam is made up of an all-Native cast and televised nationally. Showtime will air Going Native December 31st at 10 p.m. Eastern Pacific Standard Time, and it will be available on demand in January 2010 from the 1st through the 28th. And that's the latest roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update. I'd like to wish everyone a Happy New Year and look forward to seeing you again. Thank you and have a grand day.
Blue moon.